Hello, good evening. This is Brother Benson Media, and here we say that your opinion counts. I'm your host, Marco Bura, and Miguda, my co host. And of course, today is a Saturday. We are blessed to have this opportunity to just continue the conversation, political conversation on what has been happening in the Republic. We've seen a lot of so many politicians coming up with their own version of thinking on matters of politics and everything which is happening in the country, and partly that is what we want to discuss tonight. The former deputy president Rigathi Gachagua had traveled to United States of America, where he's been meeting Kenyans who resides in the US, and of course he's been giving several speech which the people are viewing. There are so many different views coming from the people. Some are saying that his comments are not really uniting, but doing what we call dividing the people on tribal lines, while his supporters are coming out to say that he is speaking the truth, and all those people who are trying to call him tribal or trying to think of him being tribal and not really being truthful. On the other side, we are seeing consistency on the side of government saying that anybody is planning for demonstration, they will be dealt with a lot of force by the National Police Service and the security sectors. At the same time, we are also seeing some members of police, National Police Service. Some of them are coming out to criticize the shoot to kill uh, directive which was given by the cabinet secretary in charge of security, while they're also coming out to criticize to an extent that uh, you know uh, they're saying that they're willing to resign. At the same time, Raila Odinga and his team are also calling for national dialogue on matters of differences which are going on in the country, so that the issues of demonstration which which has been happening in the country can be tamed or taken down. Yeah, so those are part of what we want to discuss tonight. I'll give him a good a chance to also say hi before we get into the discussion.
Okay, let me first also say hi to our people, the viewers who are viewing right now, and the ones who are going to view after the show. I just want to welcome each and everyone into the show, and also to greet you, and also maybe to state that this is our channel, Brother Benson Media. We urge everyone who is watching and will be watching later
Okay, thank you so much, Miguda. Mr. Barak is also here. Barak, I'll also give you a chance to say hi, untuambie siku imekuwaje kabla tuanze mazungumzo.
Hello, sorry. Hello. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you, brother Miguda?
I'm fine too, Barak. How are you?
I'm doing well. Nice to see you there. And
Nice to see you too. Yesterday, I saw you around. I was never in a position to come, but today I'm here.
oh, that's nice. Greetings to all our viewers. Welcome, and let's get engaged as we continue the session. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Barak, for also finding time to join us this evening. We really appreciate the fact that you are also here. Yeah, so first I think we should start with the former deputy president who went to United States of America, and he's been meeting the people of Kenya who stays in America, and he was actually joined by Honorable Martha Karua, who is also in the US, and they were asked several questions on matters of politics and the future of this country in matters of politics. The conversation out there is that the former deputy president is saying that he cannot and will never work with the president, even if the president comes to him with any proposal or any kind of arrangement or any political arrangement. And he's also saying that if the opposition side decides that he is the one who is going to run for presidency, he has the belief that he's going to defeat the president, according to his words, mapema sana. But again, he's also coming out and saying that the opposition so far, I mean, the government side, the relationship between the government and the ODM party is saying that that relationship is at the brink of breaking. And he's also saying that all those regions that supported Raila Amolo Odinga currently are not with him. And according to him, he's saying that the only people who might be supporting Raila Amolo Odinga are maybe the Luos. But again, he's also saying that Luos are also divided. And so, my question to you, Mr. I'll start with you, Mr. Miguda. What do you think about the comments of the former deputy president Rigathi Gachagua on the political arrangement which might work in 2027, and him also disputing or coming out to clarify that according to him and what he has looked into, he believes that the government do not have a chance to win at all. Even with the assistance of Raila Amolo Odinga, they do not have a chance. What is your take?
Okay, first let me state that according to me, you understand, Rigathi Gachagua is now in the other side. So when he's opposing the current administration, or rather the status quo, he must be very confident as a candidate or as the opposing side. And when he's going for the election, he must appear like someone who's very confident. He cannot say that he's going to be defeated, or he cannot say that the government is strong because he has support. Another thing, he's also riding on the current wave whereby people are saying Ruto must go or one term. So the fact that he's one of the people who are seen to be the principals in the opposition, at his capacity, he has authority to speak on the other side. That's why he has insisted that they are very confident that they are going to win elections and the current government is unpopular, and whoever they're going to pick is going to give Ruto a run for the money. But he has said also that if the people settle on him, he's gonna make Ruto a one-term president. He's also trying to lobby for his candidature to the other principals that despite they have Matiang'i and others, is the best bet to send William Ruto. To me, that is just a conversation within the opposition that you must fight for your position to be endorsed by other people as the candidature for the position. But also, to him, he must be very confident because even Kasongo has said that anachapa kumi. The same way Kasongo is confident with the second term, the same way Rigathi Gachagua must be also confident with the one term. To me, that's why he has to make it look like if he's given opportunity, he can send him home. That is political utterances. But what I want to discuss about, he said that is just about the positioning of the 2027 candidature. The issue of Raila being irrelevant. He said that the campus have worked out, the Kisses and the lawyers have worked out. and the Luos are divided. But you understand that Raila is a party leader of the ODM party, and ODM, it has been there before, and it is also here with him, Raila Odinga. But the fact that Raila is irrelevant to me, politically, it is not, because right now, if Raila can pull out from the broad-based government, I think some things can happen to the current government. But Raila has tried to make Ruto stabilize to a certain extent, to make the broad-based government to be stabilized, because remember Raila pulling out of the government, Ruto remaining a lone ranger. So to me, he not yet irrelevance, because even him, he wanted Raila. He said that Raila, come to my camp so that I can make you president. So I think we cannot write him off right now because he has not even said that he's running. And the same Gachagua said that if Raila decides to run, Kasongo will be number 4. So to me, he's admitting the fact that even Raila can still run. So to me, Raila is not irrelevant, because even people are waiting for Baba. Baba has been accused that he betrayed the Gen Z movement. So someone who has betrayed the Gen Z movement, I don't think that person is irrelevant politically. Because even if he could be irrelevant, Gachagua could not be attacking him. And the fact that he's relevant, that's why he's being attacked by Gachagua. And Gachagua being relevant also vis-a-vis, that's why Raila responded to him today. So to me, we still have players here. Kasongo is a player, Baba is a player, Wamunyori is a player. But now Wamunyoro want to make it look like, you understand that in Wamunyoro camps, you must oppose Baba. Because if you side with Baba, you are going to lose that consequence. And in Baba's camp, you must oppose Wamunyoro. If you support Wamunyoro, you're going to that consequence. So either way, it's just a political division between the leaders. So to me, I can say that he's just trying to lobby for the diaspora that is the best bet to send Kasongo home, and also trying to write off Raila. Because people are asking, what about the presence of Raila in government? So no, leave him alone. I'm the best bet now. Raila betrayed us. I'm the one to take this man home. So it's like he's trying to come out as the opposition leader who can speak about the ill of government. Because he went ahead and said, if Raila means well for this country, he can pull out. The question is, if Raila pulls out, what? I don't want to get into details, but my point is very clear that, to me, I think the 3 players are relevant. That's why even it made Wamunyoro to talk about him.
Okay, thank you so much, Miguda, for giving us your take. Mr. Barak, what do you take? What is your take on the tour by the former deputy president to the United States of America, and the kind of engagement that he has been having with the people of America? Most of the questions that is being asked, of course, they are questions which are all geared. I mean, they are all talking about 2027, and it was asked whether he has other plans of maybe working with the current president, whether they can work together. And according to him, he's saying he's a liar. He can't work with him no matter what. At the same time, he's trying to downplay the effect of the ODM party and their capability in supporting the president. And in his remarks, he's saying that even the Kambas have left Raila, the lawyers have left Raila, and he's saying that maybe only Luos are still with him, but at the same time, he's saying that even those Luos are not in one bucket, like they're thinking differently. And according to him, he's saying that in this circumstance, with all these circumstances, if elections were to be held, him running as the president, he would defeat the president very early in the morning. What is your take on that? And something else that is you also spoke about is the issue of musicians. He's saying that the musicians are not supposed to be advocates, advocating or coming out to in one way or another to market the government and their dealings. And that is why I even want the gentleman who resigned and went to the United States of America, Samido, who is also a musician. and he's telling him that, he gave a warning to the musicians. He's saying that if they involve themselves, then they are going to, the people are going to deal with them. Do you think the former deputy president is coming out as the one who has the capability of, taking over from the current president, Mr. Barack?
I think that can be a tragedy if Gachagua becomes the president of Kenya, because he has proven over and over again that he is not a national leader, but a leader of a specific community. Gachagua never speaks of Kenya, but speaks of the Kikuyu community most of the time. Most of the time, in every address that he makes. He has also transported that from Kenya to the US, which is so unfortunate. But he has just started his tour, so maybe he will meet other Kenyans because of the meeting that he was with at Seattle. I think that was just a meeting of the Kikuyu community, because they were even speaking in Kikuyu at some point, and the fact that Samid also performed there, so it was just a one community affair. So maybe as he continues with his tour, he will meet other Kenyans also, and maybe tell them what he's planning to do for Kenya, because there he was. I didn't hear any plan for Kenya. It was just about Raila and Ruto and ICC, but I didn't hear any plan, any plan at all to help maybe the economy, to bring investment in Kenya, or to do anything for the country. So I think if this tour is going to be the way I saw the first engagement, then I think it's just a waste of time, because it's just exporting our bad politics to the US, and just extending our tribal politics outside our borders, which is so shameful for our political actors. Writing off Raila Odinga politically, I think it's only a fool who can write him off, because Raila has been in politics for some time, and ODM is one of the biggest parties in this country, and he's the leader of that specific party. So writing such a political actor out is like you don't even understand politics in the first place. So so time will tell, but I think it's not you cannot write him off, and that's why you cannot talk about someone that that you are writing off. It means that he has a substance, and is very influential and is very impactful. That's why you keep on referring to him, and that is why they always blame him. Every now and then they blame him for betraying, I don't know, betraying this or betraying the other cause. So it's all about politics, and writing him off is just lack of political wisdom. That's what I can say. And in terms of him threatening Beneguzi, I think those are tendencies of dictatorship, because musicians they have freedom to associate with themselves with either way. There is no one who has monopoly of whom to support. If you support the person that I don't support, that doesn't mean that now people should be killed because maybe you are supporting another person. Then that means that we are no longer a democracy. We are maybe a monarch or a dictatorship, because we must ensure that people support whoever they want, and we should not interfere with that freedom of association at all. If we want to hold on to our Kenya as a democracy, where we uphold the rights of every citizen to associate and to express themselves freely, and also to make their political decisions freely. But if we threaten a specific group of people, that if you associate yourself with so and so, then people should deal with you, then that means that then we are no longer a democracy. Yeah, because democracy dictates that every individual must be given right without coercion or intimidation to choose whoever they want to associate themselves with, and that right remains theirs, it is a right that is enshrined in the Constitution. And once we start interfering with that, then we no longer a democracy. And I see that is what Kenyans are really struggling with, because you can even see, even on social media, if you associate yourself with a certain politician, then you are attacked, because according to those who are attacking you, then you don't have the right to choose who you associate yourself with. But at the same time, they are claiming that they are Democrat. So what kind of democracy that you don't respect other people's choices to associate themselves with whoever they want to associate themselves with? Because then that right of association, then we supposed then to be removed from the Constitution, so that we know that you only have to associate yourself with this group and no other group at all. So when we argue about democracy, let us also be Democrats ourselves, that we respect other people's choices and we respect their decisions to work with whoever they want. And once elections come, people go to the polls, and whoever emerges the winner carries the day, and life continues. But we should not be attacking people because of whoever they have decided to work with. That is my take.
Okay, thank you so much, Barak. I can also see Joseph is also here, and I'd like to ask him the same question. Joseph, karibu. The former deputy president went to America, and he has been meeting. I think they are the Mount Kenya community, if I'm not wrong. I don't know. I think he's going to meet other people again from the same in the same country, people coming from other regions. And if you followed his conversation, he was saying that he has the capability, and if given a chance, he will run the country. Again, he's downplaying, he's saying that even though the president has the support of the ODM, there is no guarantee that he can win the next election. And he did mention that quite a number of regions that are supported Raila Amolo Odinga have left him. And, part of something else that he spoke about is, the issue of musicians, of the Mount Kenya musicians. And he's saying that their role is not supposed to advertise for the government and what the government is doing, but instead they're supposed to do entertain the people. They're not supposed to involve themselves in politics, and even advised Samido, who was also there, that he should not get into politics. You know, do you think Mr. Joseph, Rigathi Gachagua has what it takes, for example, to run the country? And what do you have to say about his comments, the ones that he made in the United States of America? He talked about quite a number of things that maybe you can give your take on that first, and then we'll get into the specifics in a few.
How are you guys? Brother Kevin,
Good,
sijasikia ukisema risasi kwa mguu. You know that is the trending number one challenge they are doing. Okay, so I have listened to your question, and I'll give just a simple answer. For Rigathi Gachagua, he's just teasing with Ruto. There is no way he's going to become a presidential candidate. He's just teasing, because even you heard Mother Karua saying he's going to be a presidential candidate. So those guys, they are just teasing. What I heard from Mother Karua is what you should be taking from her. She said that they are they are going to remain united. So that is the constant. But for Rigathi Gachagua to become a presidential aspirant, that one no. That one is just playing. You know, politics is you just play like that. Hata Mudavadi alikuwa anasema atasimama. Kila mtu alikuwa anasema atasimama 2022. So just that is just political games. That is the way they are done. For I heard you ask me a question about the other question was about Raila and has he lost ground? That one, I think the four brothers here are conversant so much well with the Nyanza politics. They can tell us well, because for me, I don't know if he has lost ground or he has not gained ground. What me I know is people don't hate Raila. People hate Ruto. Not Raila, they hate. It's the same thing that happened in 2022. Yeah, the same thing that happened to Mount Kenya. They did not hate Uhuru, but they did not want Raila. That is what happened. Even if you see the videos that were today, when I think Uhuru went to Cathedral, they were telling him to speak, but now it's too late for him to speak. So for Raila, I'm not conversant very well with politics in Nyanza. I cannot tell you. And politics in maybe Nairobi, I can talk a bit, but in Nyanza, first in the, what do you call your area? Is it the Eastern Nyanza, or what do we call it? Because I don't understand those politics. I know the Kisii and Nyamira, but the other side I don't know. So maybe the Kisii and Nyamira, they have somebody who they are fronting. So maybe they have departed. But for the other sides, in Kisumu, Homa Bay, and Siaya, it's very hard. I don't know about those politics. So thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving us your take. I can also see Brother Ben over here. I'll give him a chance to also give us his view on what he thinks about Rigathi Gachagua going to the US and his comments. Brother Ben, Karibu, what is your take? Allow me to acknowledge the presence of Gypsy Kona in the comment section. Thank you so much, Gypsy Kona, for giving us your take.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at on how we can do that. I think I'm working on it on the background. But now, thank you so much. Let me take this opportunity to say hi to Joseph. We've been with Joseph. We were with them. Joseph, two people left, or what happened? Okay. We were with Joseph in the
No, it's
morning.
okay. I'm just trying to set it.
Okay. We were with Joseph in the morning at another forum. Also, we had a discussion. But now, when you talk about Rigathi Gachagua going to US, as I said earlier in one of the, I think, discussion that we had, remember, ever since Rigathi Gachagua was when he was the deputy president of Kenya, he did not get an opportunity to visit United States as in official capacity. So that is something that also we have to remember very, very, very well. Another thing also, I was looking at it this way. After the impeachment and all that went through, sometimes he needed a place whereby he can go and at least have some therapy ingine kidogo, apumzike. That one can also be one. But now when you look at it politically, Rigathi is now somebody who has a political party. And if you have a political party requires money. And as politics usually is played, that you have to have people who might fund you or people who might donate to you, especially to facilitate your political activities. So that one could have been one of the reasons maybe he has come to the US to talk to the people who share the same ideology with him, so that he can share the vision of what he have for the party and again for the country. So that is something that we have to give it to him, because majority of people, majority of leaders who have political parties tend to or come to the foreign lands, especially to meet people and share the ideology of their political parties and where they go. Talking about the population that has visited Rigathi Gachagua, the population that he attended, there's something that you also have to understand in United States, that United States is usually big, and there is, in this state, there is a way in which Kenyans do stay, depending on how do you assist one another. There are some states that are dominated by a particular community, especially. I know of a place that I visited. That place is called Poughkeepsie. It is in the somewhere called Dutchess County. It is in the New York, in suburb of New York. That place, that small town, the majority of people who are living there, the majority of them, the small city, the majority of them are the Luo community. And I can remember there was a time the former governor for Migori County visited that county. And 99% of the people who attended that forum were the people from the Luo. So when you look at where maybe Rigathi Gachagua went, his first encounter, maybe the majority of people who are there are the people from the community of the mountain. And that's why, like I heard Barack was saying that even the people who were there were speaking the native of the mountain. It is true. It is true. Now, but you have to look at who are the majority of people who are there. So we will be looking at his second engagement. What cities is he going to visit? And remember, this is inviting everyone. So the people who might feel that, okay, Rigathi Gachagua is the art of his politics and the way he plays is appealing to them, yeah, then they will attend. And those who will not feel like it's not that kind of like the politics that is appealing to them, they will not attend, because it is a free meeting. Then you talked about him talking about Raila Amolo Odinga. One of the driving factors in the Kenyan politics is one about the political players. Yeah, you have to talk about them and convince the people, and convince that the people that this is what is actually on the ground. You cannot go, especially in a place, without speaking to your opponent. You can remember today, even the Right Honorable Prime Minister talked about Rigathi Gachagua when he was pushing for the dialogue. He spoke about him. He said that sisi mambo ya sitaki kutumia hiyo maneno, unaona, si maneno mzuri kwa
Gachagua.
Unaona, kwa sababu kwa sababu hizo ni siasa tu. So and I agree with Barack. Something that you cannot write off, especially Raila Amolo Odinga, you cannot write him off, especially in politics, especially when you look at the Luo Nyanza. You cannot write it off in politics, because one, look at his nature of politics and how he has started, how his nature of politics has evolved. Because there's what we call loyalty, especially the people, the majority of people who support Raila Odinga, they are very loyal and very faithful fans. They will always go with what Raila says. We've seen the MPs or the leaders who have tried to go against Raila Amolo Odinga, who have not kind of like succeeded politically, especially from his stronghold. And that one is even is displayed even the other day when Orengo was trying to be very rebellious or having a cold feet towards broad-based government. What happened? At the end of the day, he had to give in. Why did Orengo give in? He looked at the political players around and said, will I really make it? Yeah, and I still need my term. So the only thing is that maybe inwardly Orengo is still protesting, but physically he's not is not protesting. He's saying that we are supporting the broad-based government. So it is, I think, like for Rigathi Gachagua, he was just doing the politics as usual, talking about the opponents that they are going to compete with, so that he can remain relevant to the fan base, to his political fan base, or to the people that his kind of politics is appealing to. Now, come to also the Raila talking about Rigathi Gachagua. It is the same way because, you know, one thing that the politicians or the political brothers or the political class, they know the impact of Rigathi Gachagua, whether you want to paint it negatively or you want to paint it positively, whether you call him as a tribal or you don't call him as a tribal, whatever name you're going to give him, yeah, that is his political purposes. But because if you look at the political journey, especially of all these politicians, they've been given the names in the political field. Remember how Raila was given the name. President William Ruto has been called the names. Kalonzo has been called the name. Wamalo has been called the name. So that is something that is always in politics, and it will stay like that. There's another point that actually Barack pointed before I sign off, is about the democracy. And this is something that as a country we will always be struggling with. And I don't know when we will run away from that. And it is about the political affiliation. There's this notion or mono, I usually call it monolithic kind of thinking that if I disagree with you, then you are on the wrong. That we tend to believe that there is that factions in politics, either opposition or the ones that are supporting government, that are right, so that if I support government, then I'm a wrong person. Again, if I support opposition, then I'm a tribal, ama nyinyi watu ambao wataki amani. So I think that ideology that harbors us, or that ideology that is in us, I think it is high time we came to our senses and let anybody decide to support any factions that they want, because democracy allows them to do so rather than branding them. So that is what I think.
Okay. Thank you so much, the Ben, for also giving us your take. And Eric, Eric at the comment section is saying that today at our home in Uyoma, during the burial of his cousin Isau, elders gave Babu Owino go ahead, and I think we'll have that discussion as well in a few. Uh, there's something else. There is a group of politicians who are coming out to to call for national dialogue, and of course led by Raila Amolo Odinga. They're saying that the country is not headed in the right direction, and according to them, they're saying that the only way, the only solution is coming down and having a discussion with the people. And in his proposal, I saw him saying that the youth should be a 50-50 discussion, where when you're calling people, you have to call the youths or the Gen Zs, the so-called Gen Zs, at 50%. They should be 50%, and then the rest should be the middle age, and so that the issue of demonstration can be, stopped. And he's saying that at a point where there has been consistent reminders from the young people, from the Gen Zs, reminding the government in power that we are not satisfied with how the government is run. We are not satisfied with where the economy is headed. We are not satisfied with the fact that we are unemployed. And among others, those are the issues that they've been raising. And so I'm coming to you, Mr. Miguda. I want to get your take on what you think. What do you think about the call by Raila Amolo Odinga and quite a number of politicians saying that dialogue is the only way to go? From your opinion, do you think it is the best way to go? And do you think the president is willing to have a dialogue with the people of Kenya? And something else that I want you to give your take on, Migud, and then I'll go to Barack, is Ben has talked about leaders who are speaking in a language that is divisive. We've seen members of parliament coming out to, to try speak in a way, in a tribal way, whereby you see some of them who are supporting the government are saying that, like, they speak as if they're speaking on behalf of the community. But remember, in these communities, people have different views. And when they are speaking, they're even, in a, do I say, in a smart way, they're also attacking another community. And that brings me to this question. Um, we've seen this among the political class. And so the narrative of fighting, I mean, the narrative that is being brought outside there is that a certain tribe does not want a certain tribe, a certain tribe, are the ones who gave us this problem, and they're trying to advance that. How then do you think, with that difference among the political class, we are going to get to a point where the conversations or the national dialogue can have can be given a chance, Mr. Miguda, and then Barak, you'll give your take after Miguda, and then Joseph. Then I'll come back. I'll come back to you, Benson. Miguda.
Okay, thank you. First, I want to make a comment before I dive into your two questions. The reason why I initiated my point by saying that Raila is not irrelevant in the current discourse of the Kenyan politics, because I've just tried to check on my notes, but I found that Raila, actually by 2023, he was having like 89 lawmakers in the National Assembly. So someone with such significant number, they top up the ODM legislature so that they can impeach Gachagua. So you cannot outrule him that is irrelevant, because he has made an impact. Without him topping up the MPs, I think Gachagua could be in office today. So I don't think we can say that is irrelevant. And even the current question which has been asked by our good friend Joseph, that he doesn't understand the terrain in the Nyanzan politics. But me, I do understand. And you know me very well. I'm not an ODM loyalist. I'm not an ODM member, because I'm not registered. And I don't even follow that party. But the reality is, in that Nyanza politics, there are lawmakers who are following Raila Odinga. And even the current emerging power from the younger generation, the so-called power shifting in Nyanza, the emerging leader actually right now is struggling to get followers who are elected. But we hope that one day he will get it. And even him, the emerging leader, has stated clearly that he's following Baba for now until the right time. So I think, in my honest opinion, you cannot rule him that is irrelevant, and he can make significant legislation when it comes to that. That's just on an honest, we leave politics aside. And we are back to the issue of intergenerational dialogue. To me, I might be young, I admit. Raila might be experienced than me, of course he is. But to me, with my own conversation, I can say that the dialogue currently, it is unpopular, because we have had many dialogues before, and there is not much impact they had made, other than maybe trying to calm down the storm. But these things are just being calmed temporarily. We are not dealing with the issues permanently. That's why we keep on. After every 2 years, 3 years, we must go to the street, because we have not decided as the Kenyan people to conclude our challenges conclusively. That's why, to me, dialogue right now is unpopular. But I don't want to dismiss his opinion, because he's at liberty to have an opinion as a veteran politician. But what I've gathered from the people, it's unpopular, because you remember, even before we get into where we are today, when they donated their experts, it was a symbol that we are going to calm the storm and the country will move forward. But the country has not moved forward. To me, it's like, if we go for intergenerational dialogue, even when we gave the youth 50% of the seats to dialogue, I don't think we are going to conclude. We have a problem as a country. We must admit first, dialogue is not the only way, because at the end of the dialogue, we must have a recommendation. And to my view, as someone who has been in this country for a short time, they will bring for you the Bomas draft, the one which was not incorporating the constitution, because they are going. Even look at what we had after the NADCO. There was a report. It has not been implemented. Right now, we are going to vote, because after dialogue, we must have a resolution as the people who have gone for dialogue. But also, who are the drivers of the dialogue? Are we going to have people like, because I heard Junet saying he's going with Arun Cheriot at Nairobi. So what are we doing? The same things, the same people. Are we going to transform this country? That's why, to me, I don't dismiss his opinion as a veteran politician, as someone who has been in the trenches. But as for me, it is unpopular, and I don't think it's going to resolve our problem. There's a way to resolve a problem. The issue of divisive politics, you have asked me also about maybe some people being profiled or other things. To me, it is something that it's politics, whereby you decide. Because if you say that Wamunyoro is tribal, who is not tribal? Because even other side they are tribal. So if you admit that you are tribal, that's up to you. You need to decline, because it's just a political. It is highly heated political field, whereby and actually this the forthcoming election is going to be hotly contested, and I think there are signs. And Raila said that he has also seen the signs. So let us come as a country so that we can dialogue. Minus dialogue, we are going to mess, and it is true. But the point is, the issue of divisive politics, to me, it is something, it has not started with Wamunyoro. It has been there from time memorial. People have been profiled. Luos were being profiled during the 60s and 70s. Luos have been profiled. You remember Luo Lives Matters when we were going for previous elections? So to me, it is something that has been created by politicians, a cult in this country. Therefore, it has met up with us, and we need to admit that it has not begun with Wamunyoro, that it is now today when this issue of divisive politics, it all started even with the Wazungus when they were here. They were dividing and ruling us. So it is something that is one of the strategies being used in politics and politicians. So if you see a politician like William Ruto trying to use it, that is one of the strategies. No, because you must apply all your effort. This is a contest, a competition. If you can divide and rule for you to win, that's what you will apply. If it can work for you, it well and good. If it cannot work for you, do other things. And then even the issue of Wamunyoro, Wamunyoro is just making it in a clever way that hi cousins, hi cousins, hi shemejis, but in the real sense, they are Bantus coming together. So you cannot not say we Bantus, we are going against the Nilots. It's the same thing. And he said Raila, so Ruto is also using clever that Raila Odinga, my brother, you see, but they're Nilots and Nilots. So to me, this divisive issue of politics, it is not that we can just say, okay, it is William Ruto who is trying to profile the Kikuyus and Wamunyoro. Even the Luos were profiled before there. So if you must correct it, we cannot begin by saying that it is only Kikuyus and Wamunyoro who are being profiled. But even Luos were profiled before, and they are being profiled. And lastly, no, I don't take much time. Lastly, there's politics also. I sometimes I do go to X Space, sometimes I do go to TikTok, I do go to those platforms. There's a section of people who are not rational in their submission to politics. They are discussing things like ujatairi, such things. You have not been circumcised, such politics. And our leaders, they have emulated those people. That's why they're bringing this issue of watu wa Kikuyu mkapa mlimani, mtahama mwende Mount Kenya. What I hear that Kalenjin lawmaker saying. So as a leader in this country, we should not go down to an extent that we start bringing things like we start profiling people or tribe because they're politics. We just need to be a little bit those people who are state officers, but not as the local people. Back to Makobura.
Okay, thank you so much, Barak. What is your take on the comments, the divisive comments from the members of parliament, trying to some of them are trying to behave like they're speaking on behalf of certain communities, and when they do, they seem to be attacking some other communities. And remember, this is going to bring a big problem to the people of Kenya. My question to you is, with the call of unity and dialogue from Raila Amolo Odinga, what is your take? Do you think the people of Kenya, and specifically the young people, are willing to have the dialogue? Do you think, do you think that people are going to the dialogue table with clean hands? What is your take?
Yes, Mark, thank you. Before I respond to you, let me say hi to Gypsy Corner. I saw her greetings in the comment section. And thanks for joining all our viewers. You are asking whether the young people are willing to engage in dialogue. This issue of dialogue, people are taking it so trivializing it as if it's something that it's so simple. It is not that simple the way many people are seeing it, and it's not a matter of people are willing or not willing. The current political atmosphere in this country, it is preparing the ground for violence in 2027. And whether people like it or not, this issue will end up in dialogue. The same thing that happened in 2007. In the run-up to 2007, there was all indications that Kenya is going to end up in violence if elections was mishandled the way it was mishandled. And since that was expected, and the then ECK bungled the election, Kenya ended up in violence. More than 1,000 lives was lost, and people ended up having dialogue to ensure that they restore stability in the country. That is the same thing. If you understand the nature of Kenyan politics, if you listen to how politicians are talking at each other, listen to the opposition, listen to those who are supporting the government, they are preparing the ground for violence. And once violence breaks out in this country, there is no way people will not dialogue. So it is just a matter of when. It's not a matter of if. It's a matter of when will these people sit down and dialogue and agree on what should be done going forward. So it's not a matter of whether this person wants this or not, or the other person wants this or not. For example, you listen to how, sometimes I wonder, the Speaker of the National Assembly spoke yesterday in Trans Nzoia. I don't know if Wetangula does not know that he is the leader of one arm of the government. Sometimes he behaves like just a normal member of parliament. But anyway, that is his right to do so. He was inciting the Kalenjins who live in Trans Nzoia against the Kikuyu, because he was asking them, nyinyi mnaona vile rais, nyinyi ndio mmezaa huyu rais na mnaona vile anachezewa na kina nani? Obviously, he was referring to the Kikuyu community. And that is the Speaker of the National Assembly, who, according to the Constitution, in case the President and the Deputy President are not in the picture, he is the one who takes over as the leader of the nation for a certain period to facilitate the election of the new president and the deputy president. And we also listen also to Joshua Mandago. Mandago was threatening the Kikuyu, saying that, do you remember that we, the Kalenjins, delayed colonization of Kenya by around 15 years? What was that, if you translate that into simple language? He was saying that they are the warriors, yeah? You remember the story of Koitalel, Samoe. That he was referring to that and saying that we, the Kalenjins, we know how to fight. Nyinyi mnasema mulipigana Mau, but you do not remember what we did. So, and you are saying that if you continue, we are going to do what? To start auditing what has happened in this country in the last 10 years. In the last 10 years, he was referring to the Uhuru regime and the corruption, the scandals, and the deaths that happened under the Uhuru regime. So the auditing, that will mean what? They will start poking holes on specific leaders from the Kikuyu community. So listen to those who are supporting the government, and also listen to those who are in the opposition. What are they telling Kenyans? So if this kind of talks continues from the political actors, what basically we are doing as a country, we are preparing our people for violence in 2027. Because if William Ruto loses election, the Kalenjins will say, no. We supported the Kikuyus for 2 terms, and now they are refusing to support us for us also to have 2 terms. What will that Kalenjin in Bomet or in Baringo or in Nandi say? They will pick up their arrows and start war with the Kikuyu community. And what will happen from central Kenya? The same thing will happen. So let us be very careful with the kind of society we are existing in right now. The kind of talk that is coming from politicians, it is very dangerous. And you know, this is how, if you read the genesis of genocide in Rwanda, the leaders, the media, the opinion leader, they started by saying this person, it is your number one enemy. This person is your number one enemy, and they started still branding them cockroaches. They are not supposed to live. And with all the indications were showing that it was just a matter of when will this burst and people start killing each other. That is what is also happening in this country. Politicians are preparing the ground for violence, and I can assure you, religious leaders should come in, and people who are sober, people who are not consumed with this tribalism, people who are not consumed with this politics should come in and start being the voices of reason. Because there is no need that we wait until people die 500, 1,000. That's when now we say, oh, now we are ready for violence. No. A person who is wise learns from another person's mistake, but a fool learns from his own mistake. So let us not be fools as a country. Let us not wait and lose people in violence. Then now after losing a huge number of people in violence, now we'll now pretend that now it is time for talk. If people can dialogue and avert this calamity that is looming, the calamity that is looming into, and I can assure you, if this is 2027, if hell breaks loose in 2027, it's going to be worse than what happened in this country in 2007. This is not just a threat. This is the reality. And you can see it. You can see the indication. You can see the indicators. If you understand the nature of our people, you can see. So it is upon those who have voices of reason. Forget about the hardliners. Forget about those who are extremists. We have many people in this country who can be voices of reason, and they can be led by the religious leaders who are voices of reason, so that we do not wait and lose lives before we come to the negotiating table. Dialogue is part of civilized communities, societies. In democracies, it's a product of dialogue. The constitutions is a product of dialogue. Remember our first constitution, our second constitution, these are products of dialogue. Even the system that we are enjoying right now, the democratic system that we're enjoying right, is a product of dialogue. So people should not say that there is no more room for dialogue, but you are seeing the danger of people losing their lives. Then you will claim that now after people have died, now you are ready for dialogue. That is not how things are done. That's my part. That's my take, Mark.
Okay, thank you, Barak, for giving us your take. Mr. Joseph, what do you have to say about the same?
Yes, brother, thank you. I want to differ with what was been just commented here, that we are supposed to take the dialogue route. When we say we are going to take the dialogue route, when will we ever achieve our constitution, what our constitution envisaged? We have just said that our constitution was just a dialogue that was brought to us, and it was passed as a constitution. Why don't we utilize that dialogue that was done that time? We are going to be always having dialogues. When will this dialogues end and we have institutions working? Because why do we always say that we need dialogues to quell the peace or to bring peace, to quell the hostilities and bring peace? When we have a body who is mandated to regulate in what the politicians say, it means then the body is dead. Why do we need the body then? If we have a body called NCIC, what is its work? What is the work of NCIC? If it cannot regulate these members of parliament, or cannot take action on them, why do we even have it as a body? Why are we paying? Why are our taxes paying this one? Do we need a dialogue to go and speak about MPs bashing each other, or they want to bring war in Kenya? And nothing is done. Even if we have a dialogue this time, what says that after that dialogue we not have another dialogue? Are we going to be continuing having dialogues? The problem is, brother, this Gen Z, they went to the streets. in 2024. And they said the things they wanted to say. They said that the government is not running the way they wanted it to run. They said that the government has failed to look on their employment, has failed on all sectors, including corruption, including abduction by police brutality. There were so many things. I know you know them, Brother Kevin, which were laid by the Gen Z. So what does conclave mean, us going for a dialogue when there is still people being killed? Yesterday there was a lady who was just killed in a police station. How will we be able to go for a dialogue when we are still having the same people still committing the same atrocities? And you are telling us to go and speak with these guys? We settle down. What are we even going to talk about? Are we going? And the same guy went today and said that enough is enough. Who is he beating the chest at, telling us enough is enough? Can you tell me we are going to go to dialogue with the person saying enough is enough? We cannot be able to go to the table with a person who is always down chesting his ego and saying nataka nimewapatia order mpige watu risasi kwa miguu. Are we even serious saying that we are going to go to dialogue with a person like that? That person should be held accountable for the things that he has done. He told the youth that he is removing dynasties from office so that he can be able to bring a hustler government. He said that he's going to bring a government that cooperates all people, even the youths. He told them that he's going to create for them employment. The youths are not crying because of politicians. We have come here to change the dialogue, not the dialogue. We have come here to change the topic, which was supposed to be the youths. It's not the politicians, it's the youth. The youth are the ones who are in the streets. I don't think you have seen any politicians going with them in the streets. It's the youth who have been asking these things to be, these leaders to be accountable. So asking them to be accountable, do we need a dialogue to tell the leaders to be accountable? I think everything has been said. There is nothing that Ruto has not been told. What has he not been told by this youth? He has been told we are tired. How will we sort out corruption with dialogue? We have been having dialogue and reports since NADCO. What happened to NADCO? We had NADCO just the other day. What happened to BBI? They said that there were things which were good. BBI went just like that. We did not have anything that was incorporated in the government. We have now another one called NADCO. What happened? People are still having, they say that the price of living is high. What has changed? There's nothing has changed. So even this time when we say we are going for that conclave, even I don't know who will go for that conclave. He's saying 20 youth. Which 20 youth will be going to that conclave? They don't even trust. The first thing, they don't even trust the government. You cannot go to a negotiation table when you don't trust even this government. How will you? It's like you saying that mmekuwa mkizozana na neighbor wako kuhusu pale shamba yenu imekatiwa, alafu mnasema ati mtaenda kuongelelea ati mjue vile hiyo shamba yako itarudishwa hii side. No, I think the youth are past beyond dialogues now. What we need is a change of leadership, because the leaders who are there, they have shown us they cannot do anything. They cannot be able to, even the small things that they are supposed to do, like create chances for youth. They cannot even be able to create. We have a cabinet secretary full of old people. Tell me how many Gen Zs are in the cabinet, in the ministry? Only one. And then we come and try to say that we need. How will you dialogue with people like this? Even where will you start? Police abductions are still happening as we speak. They just pick another guy the other day. We have not even forgotten. People even some families have not even found their loved ones, Brother Kevin. They are still lost. We don't even know where they are. And then you come and tell us, first, even before we do a dialogue with you, you are saying a dialogue, first go on national TV and say that abduction are over, and you tell the parents of those kids that were killed that you are going to, that the kids that have not been found, that they are going to be found. And those kids that were killed, that you are going to compensate the families, even though you cannot bring somebody to life. But if you cannot even say that kids were killed, for the first time, you cannot say even kids were killed. You are just saying all I hear you talking is about how people want to change your government. Who want to change your government? You continue leading. We have a constitution in place which says that you are going to support to vote on August. And let me warn the IBC. If they try to bundle with this election, this coming election, they are the ones who are going to ban Kenya. It's not leaders, the IBC. If they try to play with this election the way ESK played with the election, the last one, they are the ones who are going to ban Kenya. And some people are going, and some people are, I'm telling you, some people are going to go to that IECC, the one you see. And they are not, that one they are not going to come back, because I'm telling you, the way the people are talking, this talking, because NCIC is not able to do its work. So us talking about dialogue, let's first tell the leaders let's first tell the institutions that are mandated with the need of the citizens, like NCIC, the police, the IPOA, the parliament, which is then has let us down. You cannot even hear parliament a debate talking about how people are speaking uselessly in the streets. It means it has been taken over. So how do we dialogue even with MPs who don't even with members of representatives, the members who represent us, they talk to us anyhow. You can hear somebody saying, I support the party. I don't even know about how the citizens, I don't care about the citizens. How you don't care, and we are the ones who gave you our votes. So us about dialogue, me, I don't think it can help us as far as we are concerned. Where we have reached, there is no amount of dialogue that can stop corruption, that can give kids education, that can give kids employment, that can bring back good education. Even people in campus, they are crying. They are being cut their help. How will dialogue come and compensate that? It's good governance. If you are not giving us good governance, there is no amount of dialogue even from heaven that can change. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Joseph, for giving us your take. To our viewers, this is Brother Benson Media, and
Mark,
here we say that
Mark,
yes, yes, Barak.
I think Joseph has decided to address me as an individual. So I also have a right to respond, because he came in and he said he want to differ with my point. He just talked about why he's against the dialogue. And you know, when the word dialogue comes in mind, I know the reason why many people are not comfortable with it, because they associate it with Raila Odinga. They are seeing Raila Odinga as the author of dialogue. They are not seeing Kenya as a country. And I want to suggest to Joseph to look at the history of Kenya, because the problem with the many people right now is like they're only seeing now and future. They are not seeing. You cannot chart your way, the path where you want to go, if you don't know and where you're coming from. And that is why many people are not able to relate with this. I don't know what you would call it, conclave or whatever. Can you just divorce Raila Odinga from the picture and look at the country and the people of the country? There is nowhere in the world. The word dialogue is just a simple name for people talking to one another. And there is no way you can come up with a solution if you people are not talking to one another. You can call it whatever name you want to call it. But the world over, countries have been built because people are talking to one another. Kenya, since independence, the progress that have happened in this country, be it constitutional making, be it the change of political structure, be it from moving from one party to multi-partyism, be it, name it. It is because Kenyans have been talking to one another, either by themselves or by the help of foreigners. So even if you look at the history of the constitutional making in Kenya, it did not just happen. People that did not just wake up and have a constitution. It was a process that involved people talking to one another for over 10 years before they ended up having a. So you cannot say that where we have reached, cannot talk to one another, and then we want to build a country going forward. You can differ on principle, you can differ with politicians, you can differ, but you cannot claim that the people cannot talk on how they want to better their country. Even the discussions that are happening on X, even what we are doing right now, we are talking to one another. and we are sharing ideas. Yeah. So dialogue does not mean that Ruto must come here, Raila should come here, Gachagua, and no. Dialogue can take the various structures, but the fact remains people must continue talking to one another on how to have a better country. Yeah, even the IBC that we are having right now, that was sworn in yesterday, it is a result of dialogue. You are mentioning about NICIC. I was talking about NCIC here the other day and asking the question that you are asking. Remember, there is someone Gachagua the other day and refused to go. They are toothless, they are helpless, they cannot do anything about it. And was even asking questions. And we cannot just scrap these commissions off if we do not talk to one another and understand which commission is serving the interests of Kenya and which commissions do not serve the interests of Kenya, like IPOA and NCIC. So who is going to scrap them? Who is going to remove, to recommend them, their removal from the constitution? Because we are paying them and they're not serving us. Yeah. So people must talk to one another. Yeah. And do not be consumed with this hatred of politicians or hatred of individuals. My friend, yeah, for a young person.
Excuse me, brother Barak. You know, you put words in my mouth. There is no way I mentioned Raila Odinga. The thing I said is we cannot negotiate with the government. Is Raila Odinga the president?
He's the one who came up with this dialogue. Yeah. So
Joseph.
With the government. That is what I was saying.
Let Barak finish his.
Let me correct him,
yes,
brother Kevin. I need to correct him because he said I said Raila.
You are not correcting. You are airing your opinion. Yeah. We are not here to correct one. Nobody is wrong. You are just airing your opinion. And airing an opinion does not mean you are right or another person is wrong. So you don't say I'm correcting. That is not good manners of debate. In a debate, nobody's right, nobody's wrong. We're just airing our opinion. And we continue to talk to one another because we have a country that we must protect.
Okay, you are done. I wanted to correct him and I repeat again. You cannot come here and say that I said about Raila Odinga. If you go back to what I said we cannot negotiate with a government that has been killing people. Has Raila Odinga been the Inspector General of Police? He's the one who gives command. I came and said we cannot negotiate with a government that is still abducting people. What is the negotiation for? If they are still even killing a lady yesterday, what are we coming to negotiate about and have dialogues about? If they cannot even do the simple things.
Joseph, you know, more of Joseph and Barak, more of what we are doing here is simply trying to give our views. And views, of course, which are all aimed at the betterment of our country. So I think let's just give each other an opportunity to give their to give their take, and we can differ. Yes, we are in a country, and even the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya agrees that we should differ. But I urge you, my brothers and my panelists, that we take it easy, because I think we have a country here, and it is us, for example, that we have the opportunity to speak to the people of Kenya. It is us who has, for example, the platform to speak to the people of Kenya. So when we are giving our views, I think we need to do it in a way that if someone listens, they get to understand that as much as we may be having different opinions, we can still do things together, we can still live together, we can still work together. Yeah, so I think that is what I wanted to say. And to give the opinion, maybe Joseph, while giving your opinion, I think you should just give a general view. I think Barak thought that you are like directly attacking his points. So I think maybe you should just give it in a general manner, so that whoever you are contradicting their statement do not feel that you are directly attacking their comments. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to say. And I heard you that let's just do it in a sober way. We have a country, and ni nyinyi ndio, it's you who are exposed in this environment. It is you who has the knowledge. And so what we do here is we are simply educating the public. We are educating the country. So I heard you that let us do it in a sober way, because we are educating the people. And part of education, when we do it in a manner that is not friendly, then the view outside there is not a good one. Yeah, so I think that is what I wanted to say. And maybe Brother Ben, I'll also give you a chance. I'll come back to you. I'll come back to Barak and Joseph and Viguda. Brother Ben, what is your take? And
Mimi jambo naweza sema kwamba katika mambo ambayo tunazungumza hapa, kila mtu everybody has the opinion is right, because everybody is arguing from point of information, and for good reason. I tend to believe even that the reason why many people are questioning about the dialogue that is being actually the idea that is being brought by Raila Odinga, and there are also many people who are against it, and all of them, if you listen to how they give their views, it tends to be convincing. But at the end of the day, the way we say that all of us, our conversation and what we are doing, we are geared towards making a better country of all of us, a country that will accommodate of all of us. And we are having that sober and agreement that, if somebody listen to us, because in the history making of the country, not only those who are going to be in the positions, those who are going to be in those offices, those are the history makers of our country. No, even us, we are history makers of our country, because like what we speak and the things that we say make one or two people change their mind, and when they go to vote, they make good decision based on what you've said, based on the good arguments that you've made, and that is how history remains. It might not be written, or somebody will not read about it, but somewhere in a corner of the country of Kenya, it is well known that on such a date, when we were at Brother Benson Media with all our panelists, we made an argument, and it changes the life. Now, let me come to about the dialogue that is being the matter of discussion. Yes, it is true that people have to have a dialogue, but where do we start with? Because for me, to me, I see it at least that we create the chaos, then the same time we want to create solution for the chaos that we've created. Do you know the reason why I'm saying that? If you listen to how leaders, those who have been given the mandate to lead the country, are talking, the MPs, either those who are allied to the government, those who are allied to the opposition, the way they talk, it tells you where we are headed. And remember, they're the same people who are calling you to have a dialogue. Tell me, and how you want to convince me. The Speaker of National Assembly, when he was speaking the same way he was speaking, and the same time you want him to come and now we are going to have a dialogue, yet you are the person who created that. You already talked about a family and telling them the reason that the problem that is happening, there's somebody somewhere that is targeting your family member. The reason why this is happening. And then the same time you want to come to the negotiating table. How will you come? And those are some of the things that we are pointing. We are negotiating. And when we are negotiating or having a dialogue, we've had informed opinion over somebody. Yeah? We already have formed opinion. Maybe, let's say, for example, we have form opinion of Raila Molodinga. You've had the other opinion of Rigathi Gachagua. You've had a form opinion of President William Ruto. You've have opinion of President Kalonzo Musyoka, and you want us to go to dialogue. How will they will dialogue? Yet, if you listen to Rigathi Gachagua, he was talking about dialogue will not work. Is saying that for Raila Odinga it cannot work. When you listen to Raila Odinga responding to Rigathi Gachagua at the same time, yeah, talking about wachana naye, but is part of that problem. So what we are dealing with here, we are dealing with a point of mistrust that we've always created since time immemorial. Remember, from just history, we had so many dialogues that we've had. Apart from the dialogue, we've had commissions, including the international communities that have really assisted us in having a conversation of our country. Talk about of the Kriegler report, talk about the Ndungu report, all this report, all Wagala massacre, all those the reports were written. And if you go to those reports, my friend, the solutions lies there. All those reports that go to Kriegler. When you read about the Kriegler talked about the formation and when should the IBC be in place, talk about the utterances that are made by the politicians, everything, it's over there. So to me, as we must be calling for dialogue, but there's one element that we are missing here. Our constitution does not have a problem. Our generation does not have a problem. What we are dealing with in our society core environment, we are dealing with the deficit of good leadership and governance from all walks of life, either opposition or the government. That people are not taking the responsibility of good leadership. That where sometimes the constitution is being applied when it befits you, but if it doesn't count. Look at example on how, I don't know whether you've seen this trend on how our women legislators especially are arguing, especially when they are on podiums. What kind of society are they telling us? So as much as we might say that we need that dialogue, but also we have to ask so many questions about dialogue. How are we going to trust ourselves? You know, the only dialogue that worked for Kenya was the one that was done by eminent persons. If that could be the right way to go, then let's call people who have a neutral ground, because we know every time we have a dialogue, especially the commoners, their views are not usually being taken. I've never seen a dialogue that we've had in Kenya, especially that has benefited the Kenyan people in terms of seeing on how we can reduce the cost of living. But we've seen dialogues that something that usually takes the center stage is the positions. But at the end of the day, they don't solve the real issues that we have. Dialogue will take place, yes, but it will cool for a moment. Then another time it will come up. But if we can have a dialogue and look at the issues that are affecting us as a country, one of them being deficit in the leadership and the governance, be part of it, then I promise you it will work. But if we are going just to have dialogue when we put our tribal lines on the test, that to be the vehicles under which we campaign and drive the motions of Kenyans, like what is happening right now, because like we have just to be very candid, because if you look at the narration that or the narrative that is going on, there's one particular tribe that now people are talking about, and it is something that it's happening. Let us just be truthful. It is happening. Yeah. So for us to have that dialogue, so we have to accept that what we are doing, it is wrong. Acceptance first, then we find a footing. I'm for it, but I can also be against it if we are not doing it the right way. That is going to bring us, that is going to heal us, or is going to solve the real issue. Yeah. And every opinions that everyone is giving is convincing. But now, how can we marry the two and reach a agreement point, equilibrium point, where we say that this is now where we start? We've identified those factors, and this is how we are going to start to work and see our country going forward, whereby the leaders are going to chest thumping is something that is going to be of the past. Calling leaders names, insult, and political bravado that we usually see on the field from both leaders and us, even the people, because like this problem is not only with the leaders, but it's only with us too, the voters too. All of us, we are also involved. So we have to accept that even as voters, there's some mistakes that we've made. Then now, how do we start now? That's my take.
Okay, thank you so much, Brother Ben, for also giving us your opinion. Maybe my last question to you, to the whole panelist, and then we'll just call it a day, is the stand of the president on matters of security, where uh, as much as there's some leaders coming out to criticize the move by the security leaders and including the president on how matters of security should be handled during demonstration, the president has maintained his tough stand and is saying enough is enough. And of course, that brings me to this other question of of uh, of dialogue, partly, where the president is the leader of the nation, and we've always known that the buck stops with the president. And again, as the father of the nation, most of the wording which are coming from him are not really uniting. And Barack did mention uh, even the wordings which came from the speaker. I don't know whether it was Barack or Miguda. The wordings which came from the speaker. And you know what the constitution says: a speaker holds a very vital position, because should we have any problem on matters of um, leadership, then the speaker has the capacity, as per the constitution, to take over and to do what is necessary for a period of some time. And again, if you remember again the other comments of leaders who are closer to the president, talking about this insecure, how to deal with the demonstrators. And I think this is becoming, currently, it's one of those things which are trending. If, for example, you've been watching what has been happening now, there are so many songs around. Kuna manyimbo ambayo yanaimba vile watu ambao wamepigwa miguu zao wanatembea. There are so many memes, and the conversation is now changing, and even the people who are going for this demonstration are also saying that, okay, well, the language of the president is somehow uniting the protesters, is somehow uniting those people who wants to go for demonstration. And through the creation of such memes, that is how even demonstration will come up to happen again. And my question to you is, do you think the president himself is really ready to solve the problem which is happening currently in the country, being that himself and close allies are still having a strong stand. We've gotten to a point where even some of the police officers, you saw this gentleman who is also a police officer coming out to criticize those moves. And you know what that mean for, as a Kenyan, such kind of things, you know, somehow motivates others who are having different opinion, and that is going to affect the security docket. It might affect the security docket when even police officers or people who are supposed to be manning, ensuring this peace and all those things are also coming out to resign and to criticize. So do you think the president himself is ready to solve the problem from what you think? Being that he's been having different stance and he's been speaking differently on these matters. Yes, so maybe Barack should go first. Meguda had dropped. No, was it? No, it was supposed to be Joseph. Was it? No, it's Barack. Barack, what is your take on that? And then maybe you can give us your final remarks as well.
Miguda is there, so I think he could. Oh, he has dropped.
I think I should go first.
Miguda is still there. He can go first.
Yes.
I'm here. I think I should go first.
Yes. Proceed.
You can hear me?
Yes, you can hear you.
I wanted to say that the issue of security, or the issue of security, in my own observation, I think the president has failed, and also the state generally, because the security is independent. The National Police Service Commission is independent. Even the military is independent. That's why the president cannot declare war minus approval by the parliament. And the president has made it clear that maybe he's a person who can give orders, or is a person who can interpret law as if he's the judiciary. To me, in the constitution, we have recognized that he's the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. But if you look at the roles and function of the president, there's no role and function that state the issue of maybe the security. We know that he sits in the National Security Council, but there's some decision that must be made by that council. You can't just come an individual making a decision. That is why when there were curfew in Lamu, the late Otieno Kajwang had to question in Senate by that time that was it necessary for curfew to be there at the first point, because by then President Uhuru Kenyatta gave orders minus going through the National Security Council or the Security Committee of the House. So to me, matters of security, it should be dealt with at the security level, whereby we have the committees and even the National Security Council. We also have the independence of the National Police Service Commission. We should respect them to deal with them at that level. But at the same time, the president has a duty to ensure that not necessarily William Ruto, but the presidency, before any decision, there's cabinet meeting, there are so many things, National Security Council, people meeting, the Committee of Security meeting in Parliament. So it must take a state to ensure that the lives and property of the people are protected. But what I've seen and what I've realized, the state tend to protect properties more than the lives. Because even in his argument, when he's saying enough is enough, he's only too much on properties that umezi haribu mali ya watu. Why can't he talk about the lives? I don't know why they don't want to talk about the lives. They just ignore this part of lives of the people. They just focus on the property. Ati unakuja hapa unaharibu mali ya mtu. Then he's saying, ukiharibu mali ya mtu ama uchome, piga we risasi. But what about this life? Why can't? That's why I'm saying he has failed, because it should be a two-way traffic. The lives of the properties must be protected. Not that you protect only properties but you take away lives. So I think we should correct that it is not only properties that should be protected, but the lives must also be protected. We can't have. That's why Raila was differing with him that don't kill, don't shoot, arrest, arraign in court. That's what should happen. Don't kill. And but the president and the so-called homeboys are saying shoot. Why can't they? They're just trying, they're telling you don't destroy property, but shoot people. Why can't they say destroy property and shoot people? Because they go hands in hand. If it is a matter of protecting properties, also protect the lives of the people. That's how it should be. I think I'm done, Makobura, and I just want to wish our panelists all a good evening from my hand. Of course, where I am, it's evening, and also to appreciate our viewers who have come to the comment section, and also appreciate you for the moderation. And see you next time. Bye bye.
Okay, thank you so much, Miguda, for your take. We really appreciate. And now, Barak, what do you have to say about the hard stand by the president at a point where things are not really okay in the country? We are at a point where things are going south instead of going, maybe north. We are at a point where the country is breaking, and as a statesman, as the president, I think. I mean, what is your take on that? Because we're even seeing close allies having similar stands, and to me, I don't think it is right for the country. It is dividing the country. What is your take on this?
Yes, Mark. Sorry for that. I think first of all, the issue of the president's ally who are speaking his language. This is not new. This is the nature of our politics. If you look at the first regime, Kenyatta one, his close allies were speaking the same language. If you look at Moi, the same thing. Kibaki, the same thing. Uhuru, the same things. Ruto, the same. So it is the nature of Kenyan politics, where people who are so close to the president, there's that entitlement that they have, and they will speak as if they have the monopoly of everything. So it is just the nature of our politics, and sometimes when power change, and their language also changes. So I will not really spend much time there, because that is just how it has been, and it's just because of the nature of politics. So until maybe the nature of politics changes, that is when maybe every leader will be speaking with understanding that they will be held to account for whatever they say. But if the nature of politics is still the same, even the new regime will come, those people who are close to the coming president will just be speaking the same way, because it is the nature, and that is how they thrive in politics. So maybe if I comment briefly about the president's frustration with the security issue in Kenya. Maybe I will advise maybe anybody who is listening to look at the social contract theories. Social contract theory is the background of the formation of a state. Why do we pay taxes to the state? It is because of social contract theory. It is the realization that as citizens we cannot protect ourselves, having understanding that the society does not the society does not constitute of all the equals. We are people with different capabilities and power and everything. So therefore, we gave up our rights to protect ourselves to the state. And that's why the core mandate of the state, it is to protect lives and property. That is the core mandate of the state. And that is why when people are being killed within a state and property being destroyed within a state, the head of state must be worried, because the core mandate of the state is not being realized. Yeah, and when he took oath of office, he swore to protect, yeah, the constitution, and the constitution is where we have the Bill of Rights, the right to life, the right to own property. So you find that it is good that he swore to protect the constitution, but now he is failing in what he swore to protect. So that is where the bone of contention is. That's why you can see he's full of frustration, because he understands, and he has an advisor on constitutional affairs or constitutional matters. When there's insecurity in a state, and when the people are losing their lives, citizens are losing their life, it is the head of state who is failing. And I don't know if you've seen these developed countries. For example, if something happens and about even 5 people loses their lives, if the head of state maybe was in a foreign trip, they will cut short their trip and come back home, and they will visit the scene, and you will see the government coming in with a lot of might and power, because they know the role of the state protecting life and property. It has happened in many countries, these developed countries, but in us, in the global south, in Africa, to be specific, we don't really understand. Those who are leading the state do not really understand their role. That's why you can find more than 30 people dying, more than 100 people dying, and even the president is not really much concerned, because they don't take their role seriously. Yeah, so it is upon the citizens of the state to keep reminding the people that they are handing the state machineries to, that number one role of the state is to protect life and property. And that is paramount, because without people, we cannot have a state. And we also, without property, states is about citizens and property. That's why you see big countries being ranked, the richest, the poorest. This is all about resources, property. But you cannot, and at the same time, you cannot have a state without citizens. So these two must be protected for a state to exist. For you to claim that you are a state, you must have citizens who are protected, and these citizens must have the right to own property, and this property and these lives must be protected by the state. So the president must ensure that he performs his role effectively for us to claim that we are a strong state within this region. And or if that is not going to happen, then we are going to be classified in the league of collapsed states, because it's only a collapsed state that does not care about the lives and property of their citizens. That is my take. Now, in conclusion, let me
maybe Barak,
all of
yeah, Barak, just a minute, please. I was forgetting. I wanted you to give your opinion on. I don't know whether you saw the comments of the women rep of. Is it Mandera, the northeastern? There's a member of a women rep. I'm forgetting her name. She said that wao wanasema ni 2 term na they are just waiting for election, na election ikikuja, suppose kuonekane hawatakuwa na enough votes. In her words, she said that wataiba na hiyo sisi. As someone who understands the IBC, how possible is that? Maybe you can give your take on that and then your final remarks.
You know, I don't even, okay, I saw that lady speaking, but I don't even know her name, because, some people are just, there's this thing of people talking so that at least they are hard saying something, because it is always romantic to speak sometimes so that people can clap for you, and they can cheer you up because of what you are saying. But in real sense, that's why I was telling you, it is the nature of our politics. Politicians are not held to account with what they are saying. But when we reach a point where if you utter any word, you will be held to account. And you know, when people talk about corruption is manifests itself in so many forms. And impunity is also another form of corruption, where people will say anything, people will do anything, and they will get away with it. Yeah. So, like that lady, you know, in a civil society where leaders are held to account with what they are saying, such person right now could have been recording statements at a DCI, because you are assuring the country that you are going to steal election. And we have a body that is overseeing election, that is called Independent Electoral Boundary Commission. So what are you saying? You must come clean and explain to the public. So the nature of Kenyan politics, it is based on impunity, based on corruption, based on ignorance, based on emotions, based on irrationality. So it is based on so many things that are negative. And that is why some leaders are thriving, and that's why some citizens are frustrated, and that's why people are just talking the way they are talking, because the nature of politics has brought a lot of hopelessness in the country, to an extent that people don't see hope in politics because of how it has been played and practiced. So I will not really focus so much on such talks, because those are empty talks, and they're coming out because there is no accountability from politicians. So they will say anything and they will get away with it. And even if they are summoned by NCIC, they will not honor those by summons, because they know that there is nothing this commission can do to them. So let us just assume such talks and continue discussing issues that matter to the country. So thank you so much for all our viewers who joined and kept us engaged in the comment section. We really appreciate your support, and we hope that you will continue supporting us, continue joining anytime we are live, and continue engaging us. Thank you so much, and see you again next time. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you so much, Barack, for giving us your take, and just giving us an elaboration on several matters. We really appreciate. And from our side, we are saying thank you. And Gypsy Corner is also saying good night. Tumeshukuru sana wakati wako. And now I'll give Joseph a chance to also give us his take on what he thinks about the comments of the president, and whether the president is really ready as the head of state to have, to have a finality in what is happening in the country, and also to give his remarks on what he thinks about the comments of. I'll try to look for her name so that we put it on record. That let me just look. Gypsy Con, I've also seen your message. I'm working on it. Yeah, maybe Joseph, you can come in and start giving your take as I look for the name of the member of the women rep from Mandera.
I don't have too much to say. I have only two things to say. The more things change, the more they still remain the same. And just a note and pointer, a footnote. Lagat is coming back as the DIG of police. So thank you and good night.
Okay, thank you so much, Joseph, umepeana your last remarks kweli?
No, I do not have any remarks today. No.
Okay. Yeah, so I think women condemn. I'm forgetting her name. I'm just trying to find her name so that we put it in order. Barack, do you remember the name of that member of parliament?
I don't remember the name of that woman rep, but I saw her talking. It was in an event in Wajir today. I think there was an event in Wajir. and even Duale was there. I think Wajir, I don't know, it's Wajir High School that was celebrating 60 years.
Fatuma, I don't know that. I think she's Fatuma Jeho, if I'm not wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that is the one who came, and can also see. Yeah, so that's okay, Barak. I appreciate. Maybe I can see Kenyan
Right.
Democracy also wants to get in. Thank you so much, Barak. We will communicate. We will communicate. Let me allow. I've seen Kenya Democracy also wanted to say something before. I've just shared a link. Maybe you can find the link and join. Yes, sir.
Yes, haro, habari yako?
Niko salama, habari ya masiku, siku mingi sana.
Yeah, niko salama. I have briefly just decided to enter
Okay.
to share with you the retro briefs we have of Wamunyoro. I'm part of the people who are in Seattle for that event. So kama kuna
That's so
kitu nataka
nice. We'll
kujua,
appreciate.
you can unaweza niuliza. So I attended these 2 meetings yesterday and a morning meeting, evening meeting where we were having a dinner. Today there is I think a more inclusive event together with some music in the evening. Tomorrow there will be a church service followed by a people's gathering. So, but in a nutshell, people received Wamunyoro extremely. People were very happy, joyous. I saw people of all diverse. In the event where we were yesterday, I not only saw people from the Kikuyu community, but Ranja, Mount Kenya. I saw people from Coast. I saw people from Nyanza. So, and it was a drive which was people-centered. Ama watu wanajileta wao wenyewe. So, in terms of that, at least I saw seriousness. It is not like in Kenya, the way we ferry people with buses. Hawa ni watu wamejileta. Bwana Obura. Hawa ni watu wamejileta. People of all walks of life wanakuja. And the population is a bit a serious one. Sijui, I don't know why when politicians wakifika Marekani, inabidi lazima speech ibadilike. Inabidi lazima they have to put some element of seriousness. I don't know why. Because even if it is a campaign style type of a speech, lakini ukisikiliza when they are talking to people in the diaspora, wanawekanga tu nyama. Hawaiki tu mchere boil peke yake. Like when Wamunyoro is here, he is not saying Kasongo, Wizi, Muwaji. You understand, like the rhetoric which he says in Kenya? Like, you know, like the way video anasema, like here, even if you have to say those...
The tone that he uses when he's in Kenya, if like you will simply see that he's truly talking from the heart. And if you are passing by, you'll have to take a time, some few minutes to get to understand who is this person speaking from the heart.
Yeah, no, but
I saw him speaking in a sober way sana.
Hapa kuna vile yani ametulia, amerelax, information inatolewa pole pole. Yani the extreme is going is one term. Yeah, the extreme is going to one term. Like, and that one now makes you to understand that to some extent they respect the diaspora population, because I think maybe they think that the diaspora needs a more condensed messaging. So, and I wish Sijui kama ni vile in Kenya akiongea na hiyo demeanor ni vile watu hatasikia ama ni aje. So wewe vile umeona akiongea Marekani, hiyo tone akikuja nayo Kenya ama hamtasikia?
You know what is happening in Kenya is that there is a group of people who have gotten to wamefika kwa kona, yani kuna wale wanafikiria wanasema kama wamefenywa to an extent that the level of niseme aje, ile kuna wale wamejam tu like ile kujam ile extreme to an extent that if you really want to speak to them, if you really want to touch their heart, then you have to speak in a way that is convincing. You know, when someone is speaking from the heart, you can easily tell, because the energy and how the tone and how they stresses on their wording can simply tell you that it simply convinces you even without listening too much. And I think even the people around, there's a group of people who have gotten to a point where they are not simply understanding what happened with the president, William Samoei Ruto, on matters that he promised. Because remember, when he was also campaigning, he used the same. Remember, he was also speaking to the people from the heart. And that is why a good number of people from the Mount Kenya region specifically thought that, from his speaking and the tone that he was using, they thought that enyewe, huyu ndugu, hakuna mabaya amefanya, huyu jamaa anawekewa hayo mambo. So similarly, I think at this particular time people have gotten to a point where pia wanaona ya kwamba walidanganywa, na hiyo ndo kenye inawafanya wa feel vibaya kabisa. And that is why when you want to speak to them, you have to speak from your heart. You have to speak in a way that they are going to be convinced just from the way you speak.
Yeah, I understand that. So maybe let me put a conclusion, because I want to prepare and I go for some other events. I seriously want to follow up what is happening.
Maybe before you give that, allow me to ask a few questions. What is the view of the people, Kenyans in America? What is their view in matters?
That's what I actually wanted to let you know.
Okay.
Kenyans in America, actually, they feel for us. They feel that Kenyans in Kenya are facing the worst life ever. And it is evident from the dependency which is happening now. Some people in diaspora are saying they have never been helping their people like now. Hata watu wangu wanaomba usaidizi wanasaidiwa. Like dependency has increased. So that's how they are being affected. And they are watching in the TV, they can see kids being butchered. They can see mtoto ametokezea maandamano, that kid is being butchered. Watu hapa diaspora wanaonanga wanakuwa na maandamano hapa Marekani, no one is being shot. Watu waandamana hapa Marekani, but no one is being shot. So it's like two worlds. So like diaspora people, they are seeing Kenya like a hell. Some of them even have postponed trips to come to Kenya. I was speaking with Sam, walikuwa wananiambia I had planned to return to Kenya this year after not being in Kenya for 10 or 6 years. But venye nimeona vitu Kenya, I have decided to postpone journey. Hiyo ni pesa tumepoteza as a nation, na sio mtu mmoja. Like people are postponing journey into the country. So in other words, diaspora people understand the issues Kenyans are dealing with, and they are willing to help. The problem is they feel they can help in the electoral process. They feel they can help maybe in the presidential assembly cases. So those are some of the, so like diaspora is ready to be, if there is a serious politician who is able to tap that energy, diaspora is ready to help because they can see the tribulation. Some of them were narrating that whatever they are hearing in Kenya, even during Moi time, that is not what they are hearing. Like those who have been here in diaspora for like 30 years or so. who are retrobate tested Moi regime. So wanasema even over 30 years ago, that's not what they saw. They are now saying even Moi looks like he was a little, yani ati Kasongo anafanya hata Moi akae a saint. So they are worried of the amount of kids who are dying. They are worried of abductions. They are worried of dissent now, and they are also worried kwa kiburi ya Ruto. And they are also worried of going down economy because the economy is not doing well. So there is worry, and they want to be involved. They don't know where they can help, but they are ready to be involved. And all of them, they have agreed that Ruto does not deserve another term. So that is one of the advantages I saw there. Like Storia, we don't need Ruto in power, is something which now is like all Kenyans, regardless of where they stay, what they do, Kenyans have agreed that Ruto does not deserve a second term. And for your instance, Bwana Obura, I even met with, in that event, ya Munyoro, there were Kisii people and Luo people. I met them physically. It's not that you might want to reduce it into a Kikuyu event. Yes, Kikuyus are majority, I don't deny, but there are elements of Luos, Kisii, Samburu, and all the other people are also there. So there is representation, and people understand the agency, and people traveled from more states within America. I saw people from Georgia to Seattle. I saw people from Georgia. Georgia is the other side of the east. Georgia to here. I saw people from Florida to Seattle. I saw people from Minneapolis to Seattle. And those people mobilized themselves. Hakuna ati basi ya yellow iliwekwa Minneapolis ibebe watu wakuja wasikilize Gachagua. It was just organic. And watu wanaendelea kukua wengi. So it's good. That's all I will say. It's good. So
And
on my conclusion, sorry?
What was his take when he was? I saw a gentleman who asked him whether he can have a conversation with the president and maybe come back and work with him in future.
No, that one was bombed. That one, hata hiyo swali ikuisha.
Yeah, that maybe you can give your opinion on that, and then what is his plan?
Did you listen to that question to the end? And did you monitor the audience when the guy was trying to talk about dialogue? Did you monitor the audience?
Yeah, I saw people were like, no, that like they were saying that you cannot happen. Like I saw that. I saw that. Yeah. So what do you think? What are the people saying over there on him specifically going for 2027 as presidential candidate?
What is happening? What the view of people is people want the best candidate forward. Here, like when I was speaking with the people are divided. There are people are from Mlima Kenya, they are vouching for Matiang'i. I saw people vouching for Kalonzo. I never saw somebody per se vouching for Gachagua. I did hear somebody telling Gachagua, you need to vie for the presidency. And it is something which actually amused me. How comes it's like again, almost every Kenyan is like, what? They want Gachagua to do another job and not presidency. I was listening, like you are not hearing people telling Gachagua go for presidency. Even from his own community, sio kitu nasikia watu wakisema. Watu wanasema wewe pitia hiyo barabara unapitia, hiyo ni mzuri. But no one is telling no one is telling him like be the president.
It's the first time we are experiencing that in the Republic of Kenya. Someone who has been on the opposition side, seen as maybe the savior or seen as someone who is speaking what the people are going through. Normally, that is why, for example, on the side of Raila, we've always seen him during the last days. People have been pushing him that, you have to go. And this time round, it is different because as much as Gachagua is gaining popularity, we are not seeing people, even from his own region, coming out to categorically tell him to go for that position. What's different? Why is it that people are having this, people are not really concerned about him going for that, but people really needs him and people love him and they just want him to.
Let me tell you the reason why. And I'm sorry to say this. People saw Gachagua when he was having power. And there is also some element of irresponsibility when it comes to power with Gachagua. So people would want Gachagua to play an assistive role other than the main guy there. So I don't know if Gachagua has reformed when it comes to handling power. You remember he was in power and he was also very vicious when he was in power. He made a U-turn after impeachment. You know that. He was as vicious as Ruto. Even though I don't know to what level he had reached when it comes to killing. Hiyo sasa siwezi sema hiyo. But frankly speaking, Gachagua watu wataki akuwe rais. And it is something which is amazing me because it's like Kenyans are agreeing regardless of where they are coming from. Now, this is Seattle and now I can see Seattle declarations. Wanasema wewe mkubwa, wewe ng'oa huyu jamaa lakini usiombe hiyo kiti kubwa. Wewe help us. So I don't know what Kenyans are going to give Gachagua in the long run. Then I also don't know what will happen to Gachagua if he forces himself to be the president, because unajua saa zingine anaweza ona ni kama amekuwa na power mingi sana and then now he want to bulldoze to be the president. So those are all the things in the table which we have to ask ourselves. Sijui kama unanielewa?
Na kusikiza vizuri sana and you're actually giving us the
nakupea story ya grau hapa mzito. Yeah, so I hope Gachagua will not force himself to be the president, because I think it will be frustrating even to the people, because frankly speaking, have not had somebody trying even to tell him go for the presidency. I don't know, like yani kuna vile yani watu wanaona Gachagua yani anaweza cheza, sijui mimi Gachagua naona akicheza hii, sijui kama unajuanga hii mashini na chimbanga barabara hii tunaita bulldozer, tunaitanga kuna D9 na D8.
Yeah, naijua.
Bulldozer ikichimba barabara ikishawekwa rami haiwezi kanyanga huko tena. You know that, eh?
Yeah.
Inabebwa hata na katapila. You know katapila. Katapila ikimaliza job inawekwa mgongo. Iwezi kanyanga pale imeunda. You know that, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, because ikikanyanga pale imeunda inabomoa. So Gachagua ni katapila. So yeye anabomoa and then he will just be doing assistive roles. So Obura, but people are receptive. Ile kitu watu wanataka rais mzuri. In fact hata watu they are not focusing on the name. Hata hapa diaspora watu wanasema what we want is a good leader. So like people are open to anyone as long as that guy is proven and tested. So sisi opposition tuko sawa because even Martha Karua herself committed and said that kukipatikana mtu mzuri kumuliko, she is ready to cede. And I'm happy of such dialogue where people are mtu asemi ni mimi, like people are ready to give others a chance. You understand?
Yeah. And I think it's a good move. It's a good move for the country because we've gotten to a point where things are not really working. Things are really tough and the situations are worsening. So we really need someone who is going to fix the nation. We do not really care. And that's why I like the fact that for the first time we are seeing Kenyans coming together. It is only the political class, the members of parliament, who are speaking against certain communities, and that is actually not good for us. But I can tell you that from what I've been seeing in the country, the people of Kenya are together. they fully understand that as much as the politicians are trying to divide them based on tribal, tribal lines, they know and they understand that they have a problem, and the problem is coming from the political class, and of course starting from the presidency to ikiteremka chini, and they want to solve that.
Yeah, of course. Na watu wanaona tu Amonyoro as that voice, which which is helping us to destabilize Gasongo. So I hope that atakanyangia hapo. So far so good. Sina maoni ingine. Tuonane baadaye. Wacha niende nishughulike kwa vitu zingine.
Sasa we'll wait for you. Bado tutakutafuta utupe maoni, utuambie ni nini inaendelea.
Yeah, I will join you later tomorrow. Okay. But I can tell you there is a lot of hope. Mimi kulingana na vile niliona, you can see hope. Shida yetu ni time. Yani watu wanaona 2027 ikiwa mbali, so shida yetu ni time. And the people are concerned how many people will be dead by 2027. Lakini watu wamechangamukia mbaya.
Okay, that's so nice. Thank you so much.
And by the way, maybe ya mwisho as I go,
Yes.
Even people, I don't know, but it's something I'll tell you. People rejected Gachagua even involving Raila Odinga. It's unfortunate, but iko hivyo. So watu walisema wachana tu na Raila, wacha Raila akae tu hiyo ngambo wako. Because he is there, he is an adult, he is mature, he knows what he is doing. Wacha tu akae huko. That's what people say.
Okay, that was nice. Thank you so much, Dr. Njiru, for finding time to join us this evening and giving us, what is, letting us know what is happening in United States of America, where you had the opportunity to attend the meeting that was held by the former Deputy President, Rigathi Gachagua, and Mama Martha Karua. Thank you so much once again. We really appreciate. To our viewers, this is Brother Benson Media. If you are watching us for the first time, kindly just like and subscribe to the channel. It is a way of supporting us, and we'll say a big thank you. And this is the only, this is the only station where you'll get the right information and the real information. We were just with Dr. Njiru, who is in the United States of America, having attended the meeting that was held by Rigathi Gachagua, and he was just giving us an overview of what happened and the views of the people of America. And, he's saying that the people came from different regions. People traveled from different states. And, they were all concerned about what is happening in the country, that is Kenya. And, they are willing to support in whichever way they can. And I think that is a good move, that Kenyans, no matter where they are thinking about home. And, they are concerned when something wrong is going on in their home. They need to be concerned. And that is a good move for us as a people of Kenya. We need that unity, because even the people who are living in diaspora, they also, participate and has a say on what is happening in the country. Yeah, so thank you so much, Gypsy Corner. We really appreciate. Thank you so much for finding time to join us and to give us your opinion. We really appreciate. Thank you, Petra Cohen DD, asante sana. Ephraim Odanga, asante sana. And, and everyone who joined us this evening, everyone who gave us his or her own opinion, we really appreciate your time. We don't take it for granted. Once again, if you're watching for the first time, kindly just like and subscribe to the channel. It is a way of supporting us, and we'll really appreciate. I want to take this opportunity now to wish you all a good night, or a blessed night. I also want to take the opportunity to wish you all a blessed morning, a blessed afternoon, a blessed evening from wherever you're watching us, we really appreciate. And more of what we do discuss here is a conversation that is all geared towards the betterment of our country. You can always join. We do share the link. If you want to join the panel and give your take, we will appreciate. Or either way, if you want to give your take at the comment section, we will still appreciate. Thank you so much for finding time to be with us. We appreciate, and may God bless you. We hope to have another session tomorrow where our good friend Dr. Njiru will continue to give us what transpired, what happened in the United States of America, where the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua had gone to, together with Honorable Martha Karua. Thank you so much, and may God bless you. See you again tomorrow.